Hi everyone, I hope everyone has an amazing day. In today's episode, I'm gonna do something very simple, and I think that it's be very useful for you, especially if you are using MSSQL and CSharp forms. We're gonna see how to connect our SQL database with our CSharp forms. In order to do that, I have downloaded a simple sample database which name AdventureBox 2017. And here we're gonna get the list of persons and reflect them inside our form in a correct way, of course, in our Datagridview. Now, in order to start this example, I opened the AdventureBox database, and from here I'm gonna see the table of persons.person. I right-click on persons.person database, and I say select. And let's see what kind of rows we have here, of columns we have. We have the business entry ID, the person's type, name style, title, first name, middle name, last name, nice, last name, and suffix, email, promotion, additional, contact info, demographics, row, GUID ID, and modified date. So, now I open a simple C# form, and I'm gonna get each data and display inside our Datagridview. Let's do it that. Alright, I create a C# form application in our Visual Studio Code 2019, excuse me. I have here my blank form, and from here we're gonna put some tools from our tool selector, which is the Datagridview. I'm gonna put it here, right here. I'm gonna disable everything, enable editing, enable deleting. We won't be able to do something like this. Okay, I'm docking inside my current parent container. It will be the whole form. I'm coming to our properties here, and from my properties I will do some changes in our form. Especially I want my form to be in the center of the screen. In our Datagridview we're going to do also some changes. From here I'm gonna say what we can say here. Let me see. From here I'm gonna close the multi-select from true to false. This will occur to not select more than one rows. It's prevent this to do that. Also, I want to do something else. I'm gonna do the selection mode of the row. Selection mode, where are you? Selection mode, header select, no. Full row select, okay. When I click on a row, I'm gonna select the whole row, not a single cell. Also, I want to do the cursor not default. I want to be like the hand, okay. Hand, that's nice. Also, what else? Let me see. Also, I want my database to be filled in entire Datagridview. In order to do that, I don't want to leave any gap to the right section of my database. I want to select the auto size column mode. I'm gonna say fill, and that's all. We finished our modification inside our Datagridview, and now we're gonna do some programming stuff inside our form. I double click my form, I open here. I'm gonna insert a library here. I'm gonna say using, in order to connect my C# form with SQL database, SQL database. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm gonna import some database here. I'm gonna say system.data.SQL client, and that's it. Now we are ready to connect to our database. Okay. Here I'm not gonna create a method. I'm gonna do it in a simple way, and then I'm gonna create, if you want, a method and put it inside in a method. I'm gonna say SQL client SQL connect con equals with new SQL connect. I'm gonna create the class, and in here I'm gonna put some strict parameters. For the first, I'm gonna say database. It's our database, which is gonna be first of all, I'm gonna get the server. Okay, it's gonna be this server with that. If you are connecting your database in your local computer, you can put also that. It's okay. I'm gonna say user SA system administrator with a semicolon like this. We're gonna separate our each parameter with semicolon. For password, classic, it's 1, 2, 3 again. And for our database, don't forget to put the semicolon like this. Let's get our database name. It's a little bit tricky. It is AdventureWorks 2017. Let's get this, copy it. Okay, paste it here. All right, also put a semicolon. Okay, we create our connection. Now we have to also get a command. I'm going to say SQL command, Sql command. I don't know how to pronounce it. I always pronounce it wrong, in a wrong way. I'm going to say come. I'm going to say new SQL command. I'm going to open the parentheses, open the curly brackets. I'm going to put also my parameter, which requires from SQL library. I'm going to say con, which are connection. It requires a connection in order to connect to our database. Okay, it's all right. Don't worry. I'm gonna say select all, if you put the asterisk, from which table we're gonna get. We're gonna get the person.person database. Okay, from person.person. That's all right. At the beginning, we have to create a dataset. We have to also to import it, dataset. We can import in two ways. Okay, it's insert already. Oh, that's nice. The dataset is inserted in older versions of CSharp. We had to import it from our library section, but now it's updated and it's importing it in a ready state. New dataset, okay. Thank you. And now, we cannot insert in our Datagridview our datas with SQL command. It's my mistake. We have to use a library called SQL Data Adapter. Okay, SQL Data Adapter, like this. Not SQL command, but Data Adapter. It's my mistake. Sorry. And now, here I say com.field. Okay, we don't have to establish the connection with our database. The data adapter do it for us with a field method automatically. Okay, it requires a dataset from us, the field method. I'm going to say ds, which I created in the upper section. Okay, now I've get the dataset from a person database. In order to reflect this to our Datagridview set, I'm going to say Datagridview. I'm going to say data source. Okay, it requires what? Let's go above here. And it requires a data source with a Datagridview display. It gets an object. I'm gonna give my dataset. I'm gonna get the dataset, but in this dataset, I'm gonna get the table which automatically created. I'm gonna say the 0 index, the first table that we have created inside our dataset. I press save. Let's start our application and see how many debugs we're gonna get. Okay, you see, we get each data from our dataset, from our database, excuse me. And now I'm gonna hide some columns from here. For example, the business entity ID, I don't want to be seen inside my Datagridview set. For firstly, I'm going to stop my application, and here I'm going to say Datagridview dot columns 0, the first column from the left, which are ID column. I'm going to say visible is going to be false. Okay. Let's start our application again and see what we get. You see, we don't see anymore the ID column, but we can choose it inside our application in order to do some updates, some delete methods, and proceed according to this column. But now I have to do some major changes inside my column. I'm gonna get only the first name, the middle name, the last name of my employee. Okay, let's do this also. First name, middle name, and last name. Okay, how is it? It's a camel cascade method. Camel cascaded, first name, middle name, and last name. Okay, I'm gonna select the first name. I'm deleting the asterisk, first name, comma, middle name, and my last name inside my data table in AdventureWorks, excuse me. Okay. Only middle name and last name. Where's our first name? Okay. What happened here? Where is our first name column? Our first name column cannot be seen because we have set it false, invisible false. I'm gonna make it a comment section like this. I press save. I stop my application and I rerun it again. As you can see now, we have our first name, middle name, and last name column here like this. But I want to make a modification to our headers. How we can do that? I don't my headers to be seen like this. I want to have it all capital, and my first name to be separated, my middle name to be separated, and my last name to be separate maybe, or to be something else. Let's change it also like this. I'm gonna show you how. We're coming to our select section. Okay, and we say S. I'm gonna rename the column. I'm gonna put like first name. I put the parentheses like this. S, middle name, and we come to last name. We put in space, and we say, we open the parentheses like this, and we say last name. Okay. Let's rerun our application. And you can see now we have modified like this. You can change whatever, however you want. I can do everything like capital letters, first name, For this I'm going to put the M name, and for this I'm going to say last name. Okay. I press save or run my application. You see, our modification is according our data that we've made here. So this video was like this. Thanks everyone for watching me. And if you like this video, please give a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe in order to see more future contents. Until then, be safe, have a nice day, and write a lot of code, okay? Don't let yourself down. Always create, because creative, it's our savior. Until then, bye-bye, and see you soon.